there, everyone. It's Pink Lady here. Welcome you all to Pink Lady Presents, a program filled with lives that are being lived well, from every age, every ethnicity, from all walks of life. And today, well, today is no different. I am thrilled because besides me, as you can see, I have the most glamorous lady sitting here, Ms. Stephanie Spruill.
Oh,
welcome.
Thank you,
My
Pink
goodness,
Lady.
I don't know what I expected. I saw you on the TV and your videos and stuff like that. But in person, you just blow me away.
Oh,
and I bless you for that, and thank you so much. You just celebrated a birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank
and
you.
And many, many, many more.
Thank you.
You're a native of LA, I
yes,
understand.
Yes, I am.
And I have to tell our audience, she is a world-class actor, writer, producer, vocal coach, you name it. And I love this part, she also plays the cello and the tambourine. Hello.
Hello.
So tell me how you even began. First of all, I understand you came from a household of 8 siblings.
Yes.
Woo! Yes, thank you to your mother and dad.
Yes,
so
yes.
Tell me all about that.
Well, in the Spruill household, there was always music. That's why the name of my album is Jazz Day. It was always a jazz day in my family.
Okay.
And started in church.
Yeah.
And then in school, because in those days, we used to have music classes, and we had orchestra and band and all these interesting classes where you can go and develop your skills. So that's when I was in the orchestra and I was playing cello. Yes.
But the cello.
Yeah, the cello.
I'm looking at you and I'm going, I don't know, cello?
Hey.
Wow.
I can do it. But you know what? Everybody in my family plays a classical instrument. My father said, I don't want you guys beating on drums or guitar. I want you guys to really know your music. So my father, William L. Spruill, he gave us all classical instruments. My sister played violin, my brother played trumpet, because my father played trumpet. My mother played piano. My other brother, Ellie, he played piano. My other brother played football.
Oh, that's kind of a game.
Right. And so with all of us playing a string instrument, I started playing the violin. However, in the 4th grade, my violin teacher, I'll never forget about him, Mr. Mastretta, he said, Stephanie, you're demonstrative. Okay, in the 4th grade, I didn't even know what demonstrative was. But he said, you're so strong, and you always break the strings. He said, let me show you the instrument that you're going to play. Now, this is the inception of me hearing all these different parts, with all the instrumentation. So I said, okay. He took me to the music room.
You were what, 9 or 10?
I was, 4th grade.
My gosh, go ahead.
And he said, he pulled out this cello. And this was back in the day when you could take your instruments home. And this was on a Friday. He said, Stephanie, and I saw that big, I said, no, I'm going to play the violin like my sister. He says, no, you're going to play the cello because you have the girt for it. You have the strength for it. Wow. And most men play cello, right?
Yes.
And violin. However, he said, you would be amazing. He saw that in me.
Wow.
And I took the cello home that Friday. I went in the bathroom because with 9 kids in the house, and mother and dad, it was a brood. So what I did, I went in the bathroom. There was always a mirror on the door, and I would just practice. He taught me how to hold it and everything. And I said, God, this feels so good to me, so natural, all in here in my limbs, because I love to dance. We're all dancers in the Spruill household. So I went back on Monday. I said, yes, sir, this is my instrument. And I played it for 13 years in school.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So, and then from there, I went to performing arts school. I'm going to cut to the chase. And in Los Angeles, the Young Saints. And that's when I started touring with Danny Kaye. I toured the world, did back in the day, folks.
First of all, you just can't toss Danny Kaye out there.
That's true. You got to
tell me, how did you meet Danny Kaye?
Okay, now I was in the group, performing arts group was the Young Saints.
Okay.
It was 20 of the most incredible people and performers that you'll ever meet. Smart, talented, beautiful, and we were all African American.
Love it.
And the school was in the inner city. Now, I received a scholarship in music, and I said, for school, I was talking to my principal, Mrs. Schultz. I'll never forget it. It's like yesterday. And she said, you know what, Stephanie, you can go to Northridge.
Okay.
Or you can go to this performing arts school called the Eddie Cantor Foundation
Yes.
of Creative
Yes.
Talent.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
said, will I be able to perform? And she said, yes. I said, that's the school I'm going
I
to.
love
Thank God
it.
I did, because I also met someone, her name was Stephanie as well. I'm going to cut to the chase. And she said, Stephanie, you would be great for the Young Saints. Then I went to the Young Saints rehearsal.
Right.
And they auditioned me. At that time, the Young Saints were the teachers were Evelyn Roberts and Tommy Freeman.
Okay.
No, Tommy Roberts and Evelyn Freeman.
Okay.
And they were married. And they used to be one of the, Jordan singers. So they're from New York.
Wow.
They were teaching us everything that they knew. And they had skills that
Love
were
it.
boundless.
Love it.
So they taught us that, and that was during the time when different performers would come to the school because it was the word of mouth. These talented young people, they're dancing, they read music, they sing,
that's how Danny
all
Kaye
in
came.
tandem. Then we had an audition because Danny Kaye was going on the road, and he wanted a group like us because our song was "When the Saints Go Marching In,"
Oh my
and
God.
that was one of his songs.
Love
and so
it.
we used to do, when the Saints go marching in.
And that's how he-
And Danny Kaye, we would back up Danny Kaye. So he took us to the Ed Sullivan Show. He took us.
my
The
God.
first time I ever played Las Vegas was with Danny Kaye.
Oh, my
TV
goodness.
shows, and so I learned the wares, how to be a true performer by watching geniuses like
Like him,
Danny Kaye.
definitely.
In fact, he taught me how to pack because this was my first time on the road, right? And Danny Kaye said, Stephanie, come here. And my bag was so overpacked, it popped open.
Right.
And they said, here, put this gaffer's tape around it. He says, Stephanie, let me teach you how to pack. Danny Kaye taught me how to pack.
Go.
He says, roll your clothes up like
There
this,
you go,
real
right,
taut.
right.
And put them
Put
in
'em
like
like
that.
in a line,
and
right.
I learned how to pack from Danny Kaye, not only to be a great performer,
Right.
but also learn how to pack.
Now
and how
you
to travel.
also, I mean, it's fabulous. You also performed, and I think they're lucky to have you.
Praise
is
God.
with Elton John, which I love Elton John.
Yes.
Michael Jackson. I
Yes.
mean, Tina Turner.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, yes.
Tell us about some stories of some of these people that you went with and performed with.
Yeah, and I don't want to leave this out because I've performed at the White House for 3 separate administrations.
Who did
and
you-
the
who were
first
they?
time
Go
I
ahead.
performed at the White
Right.
House was with Danny Kaye.
And who was in the White House at that time?
Nixon?
Wow.
Yes,
Good
Nixon.
for you.
But what the beauty was, the Duke and Duchess of Windsor were there.
Yes.
And when I was singing, when the saints, oh, happy day. When Jesus washed all. And he had his cane. Simpson was like this, his love of his life.
I love it.
And the Duke of Windsor, he had a small stature man, but he took this cane that he had and he was beating it on the floor. When I was singing, I said, oh my God, I got the Duke of Windsor beating on his cane. So I fell in love with him and I read all of his books and everything. But that was my first time at the White House. And then the other time was, of course, with, with Julio Iglesias. I toured the world with Julio Iglesias for 5.5 years, which
one of
was
my
an
favorites.
amazing,
Right.
awesome life.
The
for me.
experiences that you had with these people.
Yes, because he was first class.
Yes,
And when you're on a
yes.
G5, and touring on a G5 with him. And then I didn't just sing background. I also sang duets with him.
Well, I have to tell the audience, you've
Yes.
done more than 1,400 recordings.
Yes.
And you've had some Grammys
Yes, yes.
and gold and platinum albums.
Yes, yes, yes.
I mean, you have been, and the one I have to ask you about, which I love, Aretha Franklin.
Yes,
Tell me about Aretha
Jump,
Franklin.
jump, jump to it. Yes, with Aretha. Well,
Yes.
my friend Luther Vandross called me
Okay.
on that particular session. See, I'm also being in the orchestra,
Yes.
hearing those different parts. I'm a vocal contractor and a
Wait,
vocal
now tell our
arranger.
audience what that
A
means.
vocal contractor is the person who the producer or the record company calls to put together the voices for the particular album that
Get
they're
it.
doing. So, and also I'm a vocal arranger.
Okay.
So I can it was just, it was a gift that God has bestowed on me. I hear the part like Elton John or anybody in the world said, Stephanie, what do you hear? I said, play the track. They'll play it, and I hear these different parts going through my head. It was just kind of savant-like, but I'm not a savant, okay? You know, it was really deep.
Correct.
And then I would have the right girls, you know, great singers with me. I'm a soprano. I'm a coloratura.
Right.
So either I'm singing first soprano, and then I call in either the Water Sisters or somebody else to sing second and bottom with me.
But I give you credit. You had to know who to call in to do the right job.
Yeah, you better, because you have to rise to the occasion.
Right.
You can't be trying to be nice and say, okay, come do a session. No, it's all about time is money.
Correct.
You know, which you have your TV show.
Correct.
Time is money. So when you're in the recording studio, back in the day, because I started in the 70s all the way up to now, I used to do 4 and 5 sessions a day.
Wow.
So I'll be at A&M Records going from Quincy Jones to, to Elton John to the... So it was amazing. And the story with Michael Jackson. He called me.
Tell me.
When I did the album for Can You Feel It? It's an anthem for the Jacksons.
Right.
And he called me at 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, Stephanie, can you call, make sure you have a children's choir as well? And I want every race, creed, and color.
Love it. Love it.
Now, mind you, I had already hired the big choir. I was directing the big choir for Can You Feel It? And I only had a day and a half to do it in. Honey, I stayed up all night and morning, because he called me 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And so I called all, SAG after all of them. Do you have singers? Who are the singers? Blah, blah, blah. Children. And of course, my daughter was on it and stuff like that. So it was an amazing experience, performing and singing with Michael Jackson. Of course, because he's a genius, and Elton John.
And what was the Grammy for?
Oh, I have 4. One was...
Not one, everyone.
Sorry.
4.
I did also, and I played percussion on Working 9 to 5 with my girl, Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
So I did. That's me singing the background on that. And also playing percussion.
What was she like?
Oh, she's amazing.
I know.
Oh, I got to tell you, in the studio, we'd be in the studio, and I told my daughter, don't be eating all this candy, because, back in the day, they would have candy sitting around.
Right.
And she loved Reese's Cups.
Buttercup, the peanut butter.
Reese's. And she said, come here, baby. You want one of these Reese's Cups, because I love them. My daughter said, yes, please. And I said, honey, it's from Dolly Parton. You can't do any wrong here. Eat a Reese's Cup from Dolly Parton, okay?
I love it.
Yes. So, what was I talking about?
Well, we were talking about the kindness of some of these stars, like Dolly Parton.
Oh,
they were stars. They were kind.
She was amazing, very kind. And Olivia
Right.
Newton-John. I did the Let's Get Physical tour, and I opened up with Tom Scott for Olivia. Like I said, a lot of superstars would call me to do my show, open up, and then work with them as well. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
And so it was a wonderful experience being on the road with all those hundreds of thousands of people.
I have to ask you, you've also, with nothing to do but do this, you founded School of Voice.
Yes, Spruill House Music, School of Voice and Artistry.
House of Music.
Well, they're together.
They're together,
Yeah,
okay.
it's Spruill House Music, School of Voice
And when
and
did you
Artist
found that?
Development.
When did you found that?
It was in the early 90s.
Wow.
There was a paradigm shift in the industry. And a lot of people, performers and musicians, they were having their own studios in their homes.
Right.
So they didn't have to go to Sunset Sound or Warner Brothers or Capitol, to do and spend all that money.
Right.
So a lot of people were using synclaviers. By the way, I used, on the, what's his name? Hey, I'm pulling this out.
That's okay. That's okay.
David Bowie. On the David Bowie, they invented the synclavier. And it's these high tones, and they can do chords and everything at the same time.
Wow.
Behind singer. So oftentimes, you didn't need a background singer. But it was my voice on the soprano that put my sound
Everything
into
together,
that
right.
and into the synclavier, because that was new. But anyway, I just kept it moving, because I always had my own group as well.
Okay.
I always had a band. When I come off the road with Glenn Campbell, I was a rhinestone cowgirl.
Glenn Campbell.
Yeah, I was
love
a
it.
rhinestone cowgirl, and I performed for the Queen of England at the Royal Albert Hall with Glenn Campbell singing a wonderful song. God
Now,
only knows.
Was all that you doing?
Yes.
As you can
I
hear
haven't
everyone.
stopped.
I mean, like, hello. When did you first realize that you wanted to be a writer? I mean, that just doesn't come, you know.
Well, you know, my mother, she wrote a poem, Believe Me, for...
That's what the name was?
Believe me
like
for
that.
what I am and what I hope to be.
Oh.
Believe me in my honest integrity. Believe me in my many ways of wrong. Believe me when I'm lost in song. Believe me for the work I dread. Believe me for the tears I've shed. Believe me for success I might attain. Believe me for kindness I shall reign. When I bow my head in prayer, believe me, for I know God is ever there. Believe me. That's from my mother, Olivia Peoples Spruill.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Love
So I
it.
was around an entrepreneur. She was an income tax consultant, notary public, and all of that in the house. My daddy worked 5 days a week as a diesel mechanic, but I saw her. She had dreams, and she wanted to go somewhere. So there was back in the day, there was it was President Eisenhower. Yeah, I'm up there, okay? But anyway, President Eisenhower, and he had a poetry contest. And he says, will anybody in the country can, you know, turn in their poetry? My mother said, she was reading the headlines, White House has a great, she said, I can do that. She turned in the poem I just recited to you, Believe Me, and she won.
Oh.
She won. My mother, Olivia Peoples Spruill, won.
Wow.
So I saw she would go on Queen for a day and all kind of things, and had 9 kids running around. My mother was an entrepreneur at heart, a wonderful mother, a wonderful wife, just amazing. You know, my father was amazing.
So when I say to you,
so that's how I started.
That's how you started writing.
Because my mother was a writer.
What is your book, the first book about, which is the one that we're going to talk about, is 17 points.
Okay, it's 17 points
Let's
of
show
longevity
Let's show
in
everybody.
show business.
There you go. Look at this.
Yeah, staying focused on your vision.
Right.
Not somebody else's vision, but the vision that God has put on your heart to come to fruition.
Right.
Okay? So my book is in 3 sections: personal,
Go ahead.
career, and financial.
Okay. That's important. Yes.
I'm passing forward everything that I've learned thus far in this industry, and that's why I call it longevity. And so the 17 points. One is confidence. You have to have confidence. Don't leave home without it. My second principle is focus. I want you to stay focused on being confident and confident about your focus, right?
Good.
And then I deal with emotional well-being in my book. All of that because you can't do anything. Because this is a tough business, but it's wonderful when you have great mentors and people
you're talking about
that you
mind,
believe.
body, and soul.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about, dear heart. and then career points. You need to know how to market yourself. You need to know how to deal with the industry. All of these things that I teach and pass forward. And then financial, right? Then you're dealing with the different finances, and I have graphs, and I have everything in my book having to do with that.
First
that
of
you
all,
can learn.
we have some CDs that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And the book, Where to Get Them. So tell me something. Where can our audience buy your book?
Okay.
And some of your CDs?
Okay, you can get 17 points of longevity in show business, staying focused on your vision. Like I said, not somebody else's vision, but your vision. You can get it on iTunes. You can go to Amazon.
Okay.
You can go to my website, and
which
I will
is?
sign it to you, okay?
Great.
Personally sign it, which is spruillhousemusic.com.
Can you repeat that? Repeat it.
SPRUILLHOUSEmusic.com or StephanieSpruill.net. Yes. Go to IG, Instagram, Facebook, any internet outlet, you have it. And this book is also what? An ebook. So if you're in your car, whatever you're doing, cleaning the house, you can listen to my book.
And where can we buy the CDs? Like It's a Jazz Day.
Woo!
And your
Jazz
new Christmas
Day.
one.
This is my favorite.
Go ahead.
This is my latest, the Jazz Day, all of the contemporary jazz songs, okay? And then you can get my Christmas.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Santa Baby, okay, is on here. And then my Spanish album from touring with Julio Iglesias.
Fabulous.
Working
item.
with...
Fabulous.
Yes, thank you, dear heart. Thank you.
Really.
Yeah, my Spanish album, songs from Consuelita Velasquez and all the wonderful...
And the next one?
And then this one right here is my DVD. If you want to have one with some backstory as well, the DVD you can receive. And this is also the CD, and which you can receive and get on the all of the internet outlets. And yes,
And we can get that at,
This is my exercise warm-up CD, and you can get it at Spruill House Music, School of Voice and Arts Development, or just www.spruillhousemusic.com, and iTunes, and also Amazon.com, and Spotify, and just stream it.
Right.
You know,
and you know what's wonderful about your albums and your book is that the experience that this young lady has had in her life, working with some of the biggest names, the legends.
Hallelujah.
Herself a legend. So Stephanie,
yes,
not only are you a beautiful lady, but I know that my audience is anxious to hear you sing.
Awesome.
And everyone, you're in for a delightful, beautiful, beautiful day when Stephanie Spruill gives you the music she's so famous for. God bless you. We'll be right back.
It's about the humans. These humans, those humans, groovin' and golden. It's about getting more than health insurance and a partner who listens and acts. Humana calls it human care. It's talking to a doctor from your couch or helping you find a cheaper prescription before you ask. It's helping you fix the rugs so you don't fall and keeping you social, online or off. It's getting to know you so you can be your healthiest. That's our superpower. That's human care from Humana.
And now, a wonderful, wonderful lady, beautiful, talented Miss Stephanie Spruill. Take it away. Woo!
You know what? Miss Stephanie's gonna give you some fever. You know when you roll up on somebody and you feel a little something, something. You know, I met my husband at Home Depot. Yes, I did. Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a feeling that's so hard to bear. You give me fever. Ha! When you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning and fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, moon lights up the night. Light up when you call my name, 'cause you know I'm gonna treat you right. I'ma give you fever. Ha! When I kiss you, fever when I hold you tight. Fever in the morning and fever all through the night. Everybody's got the fever, that is something you all know. Tener fiebre ahora, hace mucho tiempo que empezó, we give you fever. Aye. When we kiss you, fever when we hold you tight. Fever in the morning and fever all through the night. Good. Yeah, Pee-wee, play that bass. Captain Smith and Pocahontas had a very mad affair. When her daddy tried to kill him, she said, "Daddy, oh, don't you dare." He gives me fever, aye. When his kisses, fever when he holds me tight. Fever, oh, I'm his Mrs. Oh, Daddy, won't you treat him right? Now you listen to my story. So point that I have made. We're going to give you fever, be it Fahrenheit or centigrade. We'll give you fever, aye. When we kiss you, fever if you live and learn. Whoa, 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 fever till you sizzle, and what a lovely way to burn. 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 I that fiebre ahora. Hace mucho tiempo que empezó. Tener fiebre ahora. Hace mucho tiempo que empezó. Tener fiebre ahora. Hace mucho tiempo que empezó. Tener fiebre no es de ahora. Hace mucho tiempo que empezó. Yo. Ahí.
At one time or another, every family is faced with mobility issues for a loved one. Call Before You Fall is here for you with all the safety and mobility solutions your family needs. Come see Alex in the Call Before You Fall showroom, or, if you can't, they'll come to you in one of their fully stocked service vans. So put your mind at ease today. Call Alex at 1-800-829-1491. Remember, be on the safe side.
And now Stephanie sings Golden.
I'm holding on to my freedom. You can't take it from me. I was born into it. It comes naturally. I'm storming my freedom. Playing the God in me. Representing His glory. Hope He's proud of me. Yeah. I know He's proud of me. Woo! Yeah. Living my life like it's golden, golden. I'm on. Living my life like it's golden, golden, golden. Whoa, boy. Oh yeah, I'm living my life like it's golden. Oh yeah, come with me.
Wow. I told you, everyone, what a star is a star. Stephanie, thank you so very much for being with us today on Pink Lady Presents. It just shows you another life being well lived. God bless you all. Thank you again. We will see you next time.